Dos Spoookqueños is a proud member of
the Barelas Podcasters Guild.
The Oracle Network. Look deeper.
This is Dos Spookqueños,
a funnier look at the paranormal in New Mexico.
with your co-ghosts, Eric Carter Landine.
and Alex.
What's up, Alex?
Hi, Eric. How you doing?
I'm good. I am very excited to be recording our Halloween spooktacular.
Oh my god.
No? Too much?
No, let's go with it.
Okay. I'm in a good mood tonight. I'm happy to be recording with you. It's nice to take a break from all the horrible murder I've been researching lately for season 3 of True Consequences and do something kind of fun and different.
Yeah, I like the new recording studio too.
Oh, yeah. So we're in the Barelas Podcasters Guild official studio. The guild is launching November 14th. We're going to be a legit, we say this in our meetings, guys, this is a business. And we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we're having a good time. And the studio's pretty rad, man.
Yeah.
There's some cool art on the walls. There's a chili bag.
There's a chili bag
hanging on the wall. Yeah, there's some mid-century modern vibe happening in here.
It's very 70s. I like it.
It's kind of cool. So we're not going to be doing a normal Dos Spookqueños episode today. We thought we would do something a little bit different, mostly because we're lazy and we don't want to research anything, but also because I'm knee-deep in True Consequences research. So we wanted to go a little bit lighter. So we are giving you our top 31 things.
Top 31
stuff.
Top 31 like October 31 things.
Well, there's 31 days in October. We thought we would come up with 31 spooky things, maybe not spooky things, but we have our 10 favorite paranormal situations. We have our 10 favorite moments from the show, as well as our 11, because I don't know math, 11 favorite horror movies. And none of these are in particular order. We're going to talk about them. You may hear some clips interspersed in between us talking, but we are really, really excited about this. I think we'll have a good time. Hopefully you folks will too. We know you've missed us. We've missed you too. We have. I feel like life is not as fun and exciting when we're not recording Dos Spookqueños.
I'll agree with that, man.
Yeah.
I totally will.
Yeah. Cool. So let's go ahead and do you have anything you want to add? Any announcements you want to give?
Nope.
Are you doing anything for Halloween?
No.
No.
we bought big bags of candy. We're going to try to do some social distancing, like trick-or-treating, like where I'm going to set up a table maybe at the end of the driveway. I'll hang out in the garage.
Yeah. There'll be like bags of candy.
Yeah, scare the shit out of people or something. I don't know, man.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if there's anybody out. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is like a weird, very weird year, but this is going to be an even weirder Halloween. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the first full moon since like 1940, and it's a blue moon, and it's on a Saturday, which is like, it always seems like it's on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it's finally on a Saturday.
Well, I'm hoping the weather got the snow out of its system before Halloween. My kid is too old. He's too cool for trick-or-treating. So we've decided that we're going to just watch scary ass movies all night and just chill at home. And that's about it. We're not doing anything crazy. 1,000 COVID cases today. So it's a little spooky.
The numbers are getting really high and very scary.
Yeah. Yep. So let's take your mind off the bullshit and focus on some cool shit.
Oh my God.
How about that?
You just fucking did that.
I did that.
You just did that.
It just happened.
Fantastic. You know what we need right now? We need like intro music. Like,
okay. Yeah. Maybe some like spooky spooks.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish we had a strobe light in here. That'd be cool.
Oh my God. So we could have some seizures. Just like laying on the floor. Like, let's record that.
Nothing like a seizure salad. I mean, oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's get into it with the 10 favorite ghosts / paranormal events.
Yeah. So some of this is stuff we covered and some of it is stuff we haven't covered. We just kind of went off of what we like, and hopefully you guys like it too. So coming in in no particular order, the first one is Sassy Squash.
Sassy Squatch.
Sasquatch. So that was a fucking fun episode to record, man. And, you know, I've always been a little bit, I don't know, I've treated Sasquatch a little bit unfairly, I think, in terms of like paranormal stuff that I'm into. Because I've always just felt like it's been a bunch of bullshit, honestly. Which is, you know, that's coming from me, the guy who's the believer in this situation.
Right. But that's the unbelievable part, that there's a 7-foot hairy man that lives. But since we've had the interview now, I mean, yeah, it's kind of changed your entire outlook on the whole thing.
Well, I think that he's a little sensitive, honestly.
Well, I mean, doesn't he have the right to be?
I guess.
You know what I mean? He's had some hard times.
Yeah, that's true.
People are just making money off him, selling shirts and stuff. Yeah. We got to start sticking up for Squatch.
Yeah. All right. Well, we did send him a t-shirt to thank him.
Yeah, we did.
So that's good. But, you know, I feel like after the episode, though, when I did the research, I learned a lot more about Sasquatch. And I don't know, I might have moved into hey, it's possible he could be real.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a hard time with it, man. I mean, out of all of them, I guess that's probably the most probable. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the one that's probably the most real,
along with aliens. Yeah, right? That's probably probable too. But I don't know. I just felt like I mean, why not? The whole like Gigantopithecus and all that other bullshit, like that, made me think that maybe it was possible. But who knows? It was fun to record it. It was fun to learn about it. And I can now say that I am a Sasquatch truther. I'm not quite a flat earther.
Oh, okay. So you're a squatcher.
I'm a squatcher.
You're a squatcher.
Yeah.
That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
That's what they call them?
I think so.
They're squatchers or something? They go out to the woods and bang on trees with logs.
They do. They yell it.
What's that one guy, dude? His name is Bobo. You know, have you seen that shit? Like searching or finding Bigfoot or something like that?
I started watching it and I was like, eh.
Yeah, where they have this. His name is Bobo. He's just this big dude. He's I don't know, and he likes to hit on trees, and he has this he has a call that they do. You know what I mean?
What do you do in your spare time? Oh, you know, just hit trees with logs.
Just hit trees with logs. What do you do? All right, let's get on to the next one. The next one is the Hat Man. Okay, I'm mixing it up. I don't want to go straight down the list. I want to mix it up.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Hat Man / Old Hag.
Okay, so you were the one that brought that up for us to cover. That was Alex's brainchild. Yeah,
and it was my brainchild because, you know, I actually had an experience with it.
Yeah.
But not necessarily the Old Hag / Hat Man, but I did have sleep paralysis one time. Mm-hmm. And terrifying experience. And so I thought it would be really cool because that's something that happens to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't realize that they all had this common theme, though. And so when looking into it and really getting deeper into it now, after I seen that documentary I saw, I was like, oh, that's an awesome story. We have to talk about that one.
Did we talk about what that was called in the episode? Do you remember?
I think we did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just called The Hat Man, right?
I think so.
And it's on Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It was pretty good.
I thought it was really well done, and it was interesting seeing all these different people having the same experience. There's definitely something happening there, and we even had listeners who sent us stories of that happening to them too. So there's definitely something there. I don't know what it is. It is fucking hella scary though. Like, it does creep me out to think about. And I was actually watching the show you recommended, Evil. Yeah. And she has that kind of like sleep paralysis moment with George. You know, that show's weird.
Yeah, that's scary stuff, man. You know, and since I saw that Hat Man documentary, I swear I've seen like 3 or 4 movies about that, you know, sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I think there's something really scary about just that immobility, and then something's just terrifying happening right in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And you're fully conscious,
wide awake, staring right at whatever's happening, and that's what I felt, you know.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of empathize with people that have this all the time that happen to them. I can't imagine. I mean, my God, dude, that's just too much.
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move into the next one, which is a favorite of mine, and that's La Llorona. And just because, like, growing up in a Latino family and hearing this shit all the time as a kid, like, that scared the shit out of me. And
you better be good.
Yeah, you better behave. Or La Llorona's gonna kill you.
She's gonna drown your ass in that ditch out there.
I remember sometimes at night you would hear things, because I lived out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I lived in Socorro, but I lived outside of Socorro. So I lived Socorro's already the middle of nowhere. I lived in a small village called Luis Lopez, which is really tiny. I think there's maybe 300 people that live there.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's between, you know where San Antonio is, where the Albar is and all that. It's between Socorro and San Antonio. Nothing but farmland and ditches, and it's just a spooky place to live.
Snakes.
And snakes and coyotes and probably fucking mountain lions and all kinds of shit.
Crazy ladies that want to drown you in the water.
So yeah, so that was my point, is I think at night, because it's so dark out there, there's no city lights. You hear all the animals and shit. Like a coyote could sound like a crying woman. I don't know.
There could just be people out there crying because they're in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Because they're in Luis Lopez.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing. By listening, I'm so.
I'm not. I live there.
I ain't trying to hurt people's feelings.
People who are from there.
Eric doesn't care.
I mean, I'm from there, so I get to talk shit about it.
That's true.
So that's one of my top scary things, and just the idea of a ghost that can drown people is fucking frightening to me.
Yeah, that is scary.
All right,
I mean, I can swim.
Yeah, but if she's holding you down, dude, and she's like super naturally strong, like, you're fucked.
I'm pretty big. I don't know. I think I could take a ghost, man.
You hear that, La Llorona?
Come at me, bro.
That's a challenge. All right, what's your next one?
I want to talk about Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary.
Is it only 3 times?
You have to say it 3.
I thought it was more than that. I thought you just said it until she fucking showed up.
No, you say it 3 times in the mirror.
My thing is, there's a whole bunch of different stories I've heard over the time.
Over the
times I've been alive, about basically being able to call up demons or ghosts via mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that idea of the whole mirror reflection aspect of the whole thing of it. I remember when I was a kid, we tried it, and it was always scary. I never saw anything, but it was the whole idea of like turning down the lights and doing all that. And then Candyman came out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That movie scared the crap out of me, and you know, it was a lot of fun, but you know, nothing ever came of it. That's just. But there is some true stories behind it. I know.
Yeah, there has to be something. Well, and then there's all those like weird,
something behind it that give that story.
Well, there's always like those weird things, like we talked about. I don't remember what episode it was, but we talked about how people had to cover mirrors whenever somebody died.
That was La Llorona.
That was La Llorona.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So like that whole thing is weird and somehow probably related, but anyway, that I agree. Bloody Marys used to spook me out, especially when I was little, and we'd have like sleepovers and we'd try to like, you know, fuck with each other and do like
conjure ghosts,
do the light as a feather, stiff as a board, and you know what's not on here?
You're getting lighter. Shit never works.
It never worked.
Because I've been trying to do that shit on my scale, and it's like fucking light as a feather. Every time I step on that motherfucker, I'm like, light as a feather.
Yeah, maybe you need like a group of people holding their fingers underneath you when you do
Dude,
that.
I just lost 5 more pounds. It's great.
But that reminded me of another thing from when I was a kid, which isn't on this list, but I'm going to bring it up now because I think it's important to talk about, which is Ouija boards.
Right. I've never done one.
I haven't either, but my mom told me a story, and I don't know if it's true, but she said that her and her cousin did one, and then that night something grabbed her leg off of the bed and tried to pull her down. I don't know if I believe that, but Ouija boards always freak me out, and especially like when I see them in Evil in the AR game.
Right.
When she pulls out the Ouija board, I'm like, oh fuck, shit's about to happen.
You're like, don't do that. I mean, right? That's like one of those things. It's like, don't do the Ouija.
Don't do that.
Especially in TV shows and in movies. Just don't.
It's a bad idea.
Don't do it.
It's never a good idea.
No.
All right. So I just had to bring that up because it reminded me of that.
Should we get one?
Sure, dude. Let's do one.
I'm not scared of it.
I'm not either.
Communicating with ghosts. But think about all the movies that they've either made about Ouija boards or have had Ouija boards in them. I remember Paranormal Activity when it lit on fire and shit. That's defective.
Yeah, dude. Okay. So you did Bloody Mary. I'm going to talk about La Mala Hora because that shit fucking scared the shit out of me when I was researching it. And that was thanks to listener Paul who brought it to our attention. I don't know, just the idea of like a random entity floating in the middle of the road that suffocates you to death. It
was like a blob, but there was like some odd connections
to La Llorona.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird little connections that I was like, oh man, I wonder if that's like kind of one of the same.
It seems like there's a lot of legends about ghost women or demon women-ish beings that are looking to kill people. The weird thing about La Mala Hora was there wasn't really like the same kind of origin story of she was this beautiful maiden and there was like this rich man and he didn't have any of that. It's just like this really ominous, creepy thing that hangs out waiting to kill people.
Yeah, not a huge backstory.
No.
Not a huge backstory or things that could explain it, really.
Yeah.
But still odd connections to other stories we've heard. I found that kind of quite a bit, actually, in our research and everything that we've done over this last season, was that there's a lot of connections to a lot of different things, which makes a lot of sense to me, honestly.
Absolutely. All right, what's your next one?
I think the next one I want to talk about is one that I feel like we almost need to revisit.
Okay.
And that's the Press Club.
Ooh. And by revisit, you mean like actually visit?
I want to actually visit, and I think that we could actually find more things to talk about. I think we might need to do an episode in the future where we actually kind of like
go there,
and expand a little bit more on some of the things, because a lot of people have talked to us about like that episode, and I feel like maybe we missed the mark on a couple of things, or that we need to better address them and do a little more research and stuff. And I know that we've been invited, I believe, by a couple of folks.
Yeah, and that was our first episode, right?
No, first episode was Roswell.
That's right. That was our second episode.
Second episode. Yeah, something.
Yeah,
man. I don't know.
So we were still getting our bearings, I think. But yeah, absolutely. And then we also met somebody who used to work there recently, and it would be cool to have her on the show.
That would be cool
to tell her stories as well. So maybe we invite the 10 drink minimum people to go to the Press Club with us.
That's a great idea. That really is a good idea.
Yeah, we should do that. So that I did like learning about that place. I learned a lot. Obviously, we made some mistakes, and I'm not going to fucking apologize for them.
No. Hey, we've said from the beginning, we don't know shit.
We don't fucking know anything.
We don't know. We try.
Yeah, we're just two assholes talking into mics. So the next one for me is, it's got to be Skinwalkers, dude.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Fucking holy shit! Like
that was one of the creepier ones we've done.
I think so. Yeah. And I've honestly, like, I remember growing up hearing little things about Skinwalkers, but not really understanding what it was or what it meant, and
which makes a lot of sense because it's such a well guarded kind of a thing.
And learning about it was even fucking scarier than just randomly hearing about it.
Dude, all the stories I read, and there were so many stories, so it was kind of hard just to find a few. But the Skinwalkers was one of those things where it just seemed a little bit more believable in this weird sense, because there's just been so many stories about, people driving on these long, quiet, desolate roads in the middle of nowhere, and them seeing these things that just couldn't have been explained.
Right. No matter how you look at it, the whole thing is fucking terrifying. And I definitely don't want to invite that shit into my life, because I don't need that negativity in my life.
It's a lot of negativity. Are we on to the next?
Yeah.
Okay. Little Choopy Choops.
Choopy!
That's the one I wanted to talk about, because that was another one of those where thanks to a lot of research, I learned a lot about it, and
it's a bummer.
And it is. We got to stop researching stuff, man, because it kind of ends up breaking my heart a lot of the times.
Yeah, we just need to take everybody's anecdotal stories
and be like, oh shit, really?
As fact.
That's real? Oh my God. It'd be so much more fun. But it's like, as soon as you start really digging deep in some of these things.
You don't have to dig that deep, honestly.
You really don't.
You just have to kind of look a little bit and you see, oh, there's a lot of holes in this.
There's a lot of fucking holes in this.
But I still like the idea of a little green goat sucker hanging out.
Yeah, with his little bandana on.
Yeah. He's a cholo.
He's totally a cholo.
He's like, well, what's up, eh? I'm going to suck your goat real fast.
You don't mind, eh?
Just look over there if you don't want to look.
Oh, shit.
And if you want, there's a little gangster chupacabra shirt available in our merch store.
Yeah, I drew it up. It's funny.
So I don't know as much about like the actual story of this, but the movie scared the fuck out of me, which is the family that The Conjuring was based on, which is the Perron family. Apparently they're from New Hampshire. And I do have a little bit of a article here that I was looking at. First of all, in the beginning of this real story, the Perron girls, I guess, there was 5 of them. They said that the ghosts were very friendly before they turned...
That's how they always are, isn't it? Damn it.
It's
just so nice.
Yeah, and then they get real, like, fucking shady. But then malevolent spirits started to show up, and they started to see weird shit happening. Oh, there was a disembodied voice telling one of the girls that there were 7 bodies buried in the wall. Okay.
Oh.
I'd be like, cool, we're leaving now. We don't live here anymore. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
So then, like, one of the girls said that this ghost called Bathsheba, apparently it took over her body. Apparently she was a witch, the ghost, that made a pact with the devil, which, like you do. That's what everybody does, right?
Like you do.
Yeah, it's just like normal. And then they actually did contact the Warrens. It was a family friend that contacted the Warrens and brought them over to do the investigation.
I wonder if they've ever done anything into Mexico.
The Warrens?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to look into.
You know what I mean?
We should ask our buddy Ben Radford.
Oh, yeah.
He would probably know.
He probably would.
He knows like all the things.
All the things.
But even like the story behind the family is fucking creepy as fuck. I don't know if it's real or not. The Conjuring scared the shit out of me. What's number 10?
Last but not least, Mr. Bobby Darnell.
Bobby.
At the Chemo Theater.
Yeah.
That's another one I'd really want to go just explore there. I don't know if it's necessarily with its ghost hunting or not, but I would love some backstage access to like kind of walk around and kind of soak it all in.
Sure. Yeah.
Soak it all in.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
You did say soak it all in, yeah.
Oh,
and we're leaving that in there.
I hope so.
Yeah, that was one that I was disappointed.
Well, I mean, that was like one of the first spots that I've heard of when I moved to Albuquerque. Like, that place is haunted.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, we got to stop doing the research.
Yeah. We just need to go to Reddit. Stay off of Google.
Go to Scary Pastas.
Don't read Benjamin Radford's books.
Yeah, don't do any research. Don't think for myself.
And just believe, all the creepypasta.
All the creepypastas.
Let's just become a creepypasta show.
Yeah, we totally could pretty easily.
Yeah, just like fuck it.
I could write my own creepypastas.
Yeah.
Shit, that's easy.
We could start our own urban legends.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, the tamale that killed that family. Did you hear about that?
I've always wanted to start a cult.
Oh my god. What kind of cult?
I don't know yet. Something crazy. Like, it has to be fucking nutso.
Like the whole spaghetti monster god thing?
Oh, that's kind of cute. I mean like legit crazy.
That's not crazy? Okay. Yeah, like we all wear Crocs and...
Yes. Fuck yes.
And rompers.
Yes. I'm
Crocs
here.
and
Yes.
rompers.
Yes. Okay. All right.
That just goes hand in hand with moose knuckles and mullets.
And mullets. Oh my god. That could be the name of the book we write for the cult. All right. What's our next list?
The Book of Eric.
The Book of Moose Knuckles and Mullets.
All right, now we should get into the 10 favorite clips from season 1. We're going to try to play some the actual audio from these clips so you kind of have a reference and get a taste of what we're talking about. Yeah,
hopefully it'll jar your memory. So coming in at
no particular order.
Then I'm going to start with the chemo theater. So in this clip, you're going to hear us talking about the ghost of Bobby eating donuts, but I have a different explanation. So let's listen to this and then we'll come back and talk about it.
There are rumors that as time went on and the theater productions continued, strange things started happening. The rumor is that often cast and production crews would be gifted donuts and coffee, and people claim that when they returned from the stage that they noticed several child bites taken out of them.
That was just somebody's like shitty kid running around taking bites out of their donuts.
That was just stagehand Phil. The guy working the
he never got his
moving pictures.
He only has baby teeth in his mouth.
Yeah, he only has baby teeth. And just put the creepiest picture in my head.
All right, so I still think it's a bunch of asshole kids running around.
Just the kids of the actors and shit.
Yeah, or the director's kid, and he's like, I'll have you all fired.
Do you know who my daddy is?
My daddy will kill you.
I don't know why I did that accent.
Give me a bite of that donut, bitch. All right, what's yours?
Let's talk about some flower tape.
Sunflower tape?
Some flower. Flower tape.
Flower tape. Yeah, scotch tape.
Scotch tape.
Yeah, okay, so we'll play that. There were no words to be found anywhere on the instrument, although there were letters on some of the parts. Considerable scotch tape and some tape with flowers, and they were printed upon it, had been used in the construction. No strings or wires were to be found, but there were some eyelets in the paper to indicate some sort of attachment might have been used.
I'm sorry, did you say that there was flower scotch tape?
Yeah, you don't have that?
On the spaceship?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're hippie aliens.
I mean, maybe they are. Maybe it was that time, right? No. Maybe,
it was before that time.
It was before.
Maybe it's like a Back to the Future thing where like they came like Marty McFly and then they brought hippiness to the U.S. 13 years before it started.
So, okay.
Yeah.
That was just, okay. Once again, don't do the research.
Yeah.
You know, like when they started saying that this craft was made out of like
balsa wood,
tinfoil, balsa wood, and flower scotch tape, I was like, well, this is obviously appropriate for like space travel.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was disappointing as well, but I'm still thinking there's a possibility that could just be what we were told they found.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
See, I almost feel like we need to revisit. We need to
go to Roswell.
We need to go to Roswell
Yeah.
and just do a show there.
Yep.
Videotape it, make it happen.
Yep. I agree. All right. So another thing from Roswell that we're going to hear is placing ourselves in 1947.
Let's go back to that day in 1947.
Right. I'm there.
Okay.
Everything's black and white.
Everything's black and white, and yeah.
Everything's starched. My whole outfit is starched.
My socks are ironed.
My hair is starched.
My hair is starched.
All right. So yeah, that was hilarious. I don't know where that came from. I just imagined what 1947 was like, and I assume that's what it was.
I'm pretty sure you're pretty accurate with. I've seen what is that show, Mad Men?
Yeah.
Everything is starched, dude.
Everything.
Socks.
Yeah, all of it. And
everything.
I'm pretty sure that was like just like the craziest time in general. All right. The next one, this one, we've actually had a lot of people talk about this clip, so I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going to play it.
Several theories were floating around that one or more spacecraft had crash landed in Roswell, and that the alien occupants of the crash were recovered by the government, and that the military had used the weather balloon as a cover-up.
What?
Doesn't sound like something they would do.
The government doesn't lie to us.
They don't lie. They don't cover things up. Anyway, eventually.
Hi, FBI. And that should be a lesson to all of you.
I've never even heard about the government lying to us.
The government doesn't lie, you guys. We have a shirt about it. Believe us. Cool. Well, Roswell was a fucking good episode. I had a good time recording that, and there were definitely some good little gems out of that one.
right, coming in next, I want to talk about Sasquatch.
Okay, so we're talking about which part is Sasquatch, though, because there's a few parts here.
The first story about peeing.
Oh, when he's... Okay.
And being a lurker.
All right, let's play that.
Upon parking in the front of the gas station, we discovered that it was closed. I needed to pee rather urgently, so I ran around to the back of the station to find a dark place to do my business. And I walked about 15 to 20 meters behind the gas station to be out of sight of the occupied vehicles in the gas station lot. And as I was urinating, I began to feel uncomfortable. I guess it was because I was peeing in open ground and initially thought somebody was walking up behind me, probably to do the same thing. I craned and looked around and saw nobody and no animals, just a blanket, feeling that somebody was very near me. As I finished peeing, I turned and began briskly walking back to our vehicle. As I was hurrying back, I turned to look behind me, and that is when I became a believer. Before I continue, I'd like to preface my anecdote by alluding to all my high levels of academic credentialing alongside my occupation as a healthcare executive. I also provide executive and technical advice to elected and appointed officials. I have worked very hard to become an expert based on empirical analysis and studied facts. I did not believe in Bigfoot, ghosts, or other unexplained anomalies. I believed in results, hard work, and, results. My perspective is now very different. As I turned and looked over my left shoulder, I saw an enormous lurking animal. The animal was crouched over, almost as if taking cover in sparse and cold vegetation. In fact, I think the creature watched me the whole time and did not make so much of a noise. However, the creature noticed when I saw it, and the creature stood up and quickly lumbered into the dark, away from the direction of the parking lot.
Wait, hold on. So Bigfoot is like totally meat gazing this dude while he's pissing?
He's a lurker. He's a straight lurker. He hides behind
he's like
gas stations waiting for people to go take a piss, and they just won't lurk.
He's breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knew that Sasquatch was a pervert?
I don't know. We need to look into it and see if there's other stories around the country. If this is kind of a common theme, if he's a meat watcher,
meat gazer. Yeah. Well, he was really offended by that when we talked to him.
He was, and you know what? You can't blame him, because how dare we just assume that's what he was doing?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, he might have just been gazing off into the distance and didn't realize the dude was there, and it just looked like he was staring at his dick. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So this is a personal favorite of mine. I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to introduce it because my son and I were watching Cobra Kai, and they keep doing all these 80s flashbacks, and then I had him watch the original Karate Kid with me, and there was that beach volleyball scene where those guys are in those tiny shorts.
Yeah.
And he's like, why did guys dress like that back then? I'm like, I have no idea.
It was the thing.
Yeah, it was the
80s. I mean, there was so much of the 80s that
there was
regretful. You know,
fucking moose knuckle and fucking and fucking mullets everywhere. Moose knuckle and mullets. That sounds like a fucking crime fighting team,
or like a punk rock band. Have you heard come see my band play this weekend? Moose knuckle and mullets. Someone's gonna make that a band now, and I hope someone does, and you can have that. Yeah, moose knuckles and mullets.
We get royalties though.
1%.
15.
15. That's good.
All right. Anyway. All right. So the moose knuckles and mullets. Yeah, that was. Whew.
That's one of the funniest sound clips I've heard in a long time, actually. And I don't know. It's just so ridiculous. I don't know if you sat there and fumed about it.
No, it just came out.
It just came out because that was so perfect, man. Fucking moose knuckles and mullets.
I mean, it's accurate. It accurately describes what's happening.
I mean, say that's not true, right?
Yeah.
Say that's not true.
Yeah.
you know how many movies and TV shows I remember where it was straight up moose knuckles and mullets?
Yeah, I mean, all I have to say right now is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, right?
That's like the epitome.
That's all you fucking need to know. And like girls for some reason had like these bikinis that were like super V cut.
Yeah, and it goes up to your stomach.
Like all the way up to their like under boob. You know what I mean? Like this like V bathing suit bottoms.
Yeah.
I never understood that, man.
Well, and then let's talk about hair. I mean, just the 80s was an interesting time.
Dude, I had some crazy hair in the 80s. I remember I had a flat top at one point.
Me too. Yeah.
Because that was cool, I guess.
Yeah. I'm Dolph Lundgren.
I had the couple of the ghetto part shaved into my hair. You know what I'm saying?
I had like the lightning bolt on the side.
I don't know if I did lightning. No, I did do lightning bolts or something similar to that. Anyway, the 80s.
The 80s.
Dayglow and No.
What's next?
Talk about the old hag and the Hat Man lurking.
The perverts.
Yeah, let's let that play.
As you guys know, and based on the story that I just read, what? Why are you just sitting there all creepy?
Because I was thinking about the old hag touching me. I couldn't help it, man. He was like, the old hag touches you. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Alex was like, yeah.
That's no hag.
All right, so
just picture this old bitch just like, oh man, let me touch you. I'm gonna touch you.
Testicles.
My Maltomobile's ready. Wake up.
It's time for my Metamucil. Testicles.
You know, that was one of the hardest ones for me because
we laughed so much during that episode.
How many takes did it take to
like
do that?
At least 7.
It was at least 7 takes. Like every time we started talking about it, I could not get the picture, and I wasn't trying to make fun of the story, but the way it was planting itself in my brain, I just could not stop but giggling at that.
Well, as soon as like you said something about it, all I could picture is this like creepy old lady like fondling somebody.
Yeah, just hey.
Too much. It's too much. All right, so my next favorite would be this one.
So on top of all this, most of the reports of little chup-chups killing animals were actually never even confirmed by a vet or any other kind of scientist or biologist.
That's my gang name.
Little Chip Chips.
Little Chip Chips.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
There's a shirt right there.
Oh, dude, we got to make a Little Chup Chup shirt. Okay, so that's what birthed the gangster Chupacabra shirt. And
Little Choopy Choops.
He's all mad, eh?
He's all mad. He's going to suck your good, eh?
Don't even start with him. Don't mess around. Okay. What's the next one?
We should just lead into that one with Mr. Radford.
Okay.
Well, science will never prove ghosts. Well, they won't.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And number 2, they won't if you think they won't. I'll tell you a quick story. I was on a TV show called Return of the Amityville Horror for Mystery Quest about 12 years ago. And there was, I was there, I was at a place called the Haunted Wolf Manor in Carson, California.
Mm-hmm.
And it was and I'd been on a couple TV shows where, anyway, so I was there. I'm of course the token skeptic, right? Because there's always one token skeptic and it's often me. So I'm like, well, whatever. I know this going in. So I'm there there was a psychic. There was a team that was, I think, trained by the Warrens, and we can get into that later on. But so I'm watching them. So they show up in their van. They got one of those extra long vans. It looks like a limo van type thing. And they show up, and I think there were like 4 members of the crew. And they're unloading all this stuff. So they open up this van. It's like, all these cases of gear, and they got infrared. They got all the camera, all this sort of stuff, and so they're setting up. It's the classic stuff you see on ghost hunting TV shows.
Sure.
So I'm sitting there just watching because, I'm not on camera yet. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm watching these guys load all this gear. So they spend hours and hours setting this stuff up, cameras in the basement, cameras here, radios. They're so proud. Like, well, look at this. It cost $18,000. I'm like, okay. Well, yeah, but this detects ghosts. Why? Because it's $18,000. Right. Anyway, so I won't tell you the whole story, but anyway, so it was a long night shooting, and so we were going back to the hotel after I think it was about like 1 a.m. or something, and one of the producers was driving us back to the hotel, which is a couple blocks away, and so it was me and the lead guy from this ghost hunting team. And she's driving. The producer driving. It's just the three of us. The cameras are off. We're just chilling out. We're all tired. Gonna go back to the hotel. And so I'm like, just to pass the time, I was like, why? I asked the dude. It's like, so I'm curious. Why do you think that so far we don't have good evidence of ghosts? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just curious. We're just talking. So why do you think that as of now, which is, I don't know, 2005 or something, there still isn't good evidence of ghosts? And he says to me, well, I don't think that scientific equipment can detect ghosts. and I thought about that for a minute, and I said, well, what was all that gear you were bringing in? Because I watched you guys unload that van for about 3 hours. So if you don't think that you need that detects ghosts,
you spent a lot of money for no reason.
And it was funny because there was this silence, and the producer, she's driving, she's like, her eyes like, ooh.
Oh my God, dude. That was such an amazing interview with him. And I remember, because we were doing it all over Google Meet, like texting you and saying, holy shit, this is so cool. I think that, I definitely appreciated his knowledge of everything and how much
he gave us a chance to talk to him.
Yeah.
We're like season 1 of this like weird podcast that no one's heard of. And he came to talk to us. I mean, that made me feel pretty awesome, pretty special.
Yeah, he is a big deal in the paranormal community. A lot of people are mad at him because of his findings, but I think he does a great job researching stuff and looking into it.
It needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be done. And so thank you, Benjamin.
Thank you, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
So the next one I want to bring up is, all right, so here's this clip, just a stupid funny clip.
The name Bigfoot comes from a Wyandotte chief who was said to be well over 6 foot tall with giant feet and incredible strength. Another chief from Lakota tribe named Spotted Elk was also referred to as Bigfoot. So both of these chiefs were around in the late 1800s. It also became the name of an especially aggressive grizzly bear that lived in the mountains near Fresno, California.
I thought you said passive aggressive grizzly bear. He's like, could somebody
you go ahead.
pick up the trash that's everywhere? That's another shirt. Passive aggressive grizzly bear.
Passive aggressive Bigfoot. No, it's
someone
okay.
left the toilet seat up again. Yeah, passive aggressive grizzly bears. They'll get you every time.
Grizzly beers?
Grizzly beers. Grizzly bears.
I feel like I'm
You're a passive aggressive grizzly bear?
I feel like I can be, man. I think there's a reason why they call me Grizzle, you know what I mean? I think that kind of fits with me and my personality. But I guess not passive aggressive. I'm not really passive.
You're aggressive aggressive.
I'm just aggressive. Yeah. And that's okay. Someone has to be.
Yeah. I'd rather you be aggressive than passive aggressive, honestly.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. Also, somebody ate all my yogurt in the studio.
Ooh.
And it had my name on it. So I'd appreciate it.
And it's been 2 weeks of this happening.
I'd appreciate it if people would respect other people's property.
It's my Greek yogurt. I know it was mine because no one else here likes honey yogurt, okay? Except for me.
Anyway. On that note.
Anyway.
What's the next one?
I want to do what's the most famous one to me. I mean, this is like world-breaking stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, who else can say they locked down an interview with an actual Sasquatch?
Yeah, us.
That's who.
Take that, people.
World.
Take that, mom.
I expect many people to be coming in contact with us. I'm not going to give out the information of where he lives or his contact information. Okay, he trusted us.
Yeah.
He trusted us.
He doesn't anymore.
I'm not going to betray that trust.
He doesn't anymore, though.
Well, I don't think he really ever did.
Well, around this year, I normally meet my friend and his cousin in the glacial lands of Canada. They crossed the Bering Strait. Yeah, we did that. Not you guys. We crossed that strait. So I've been hanging out with him over there, having a great time.
Okay, that's great, I guess. But why have you been hiding? Why are you hiding out? What are you hiding from?
Well, maybe running from my past. I don't know. Maybe it's just something I like to do. Maybe humanity just sucks. I don't know. But I'm here. I'm hiding, doing my thing, living my life. Because I'm a Sasquatch, not you guys. I am.
Is there any reason that you've been hiding? Did you get in trouble with the law, or what's going on? Why are you hiding? Why?
It's the life I chose to live, man. Basically, I'm sick of you guys getting in my face, taking my resources, having a great time with them, and I'm over here hiding in the bushes, trying to make my life good.
I mean, he stormed off.
He was pretty pissed.
Yeah.
He flipped us off.
Yeah. He took a shit.
He left a big old pile of shit for us.
Fucker. Whatever, Sasquatch.
No,
all right.
We appreciate you, though.
We do.
Sassy Squatch, you.
You meat-gazing lurker. Okay. And this final clip is going to scare the fucking shit out of you.
No, it won't.
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
As she continued to drive, she noticed in her peripheral vision that something was running alongside her car. She turned her head to see that a brown dog from the group was trotting alongside her car. She didn't mind much until she hit a strategically placed speed bump. The impact of the bump made her entire car wobble. She looked over at the dog again, still casually keeping pace with the car. She tried to ignore the dog, and even tried speeding up, keeping in mind that there were speed bumps. The dog continued to keep pace. My cousin had to eventually stop at a stop sign, and she began to feel immensely uncomfortable, and tried to keep her eyes forward. But curiosity got the best of her. She looked over at the dog. It was facing forward. She continued to stare, and that is when the dog turned its head. Instead of the face of a dog, there was the flat face of a man, covered in hair, smiling ear to ear.
That's too much. It's fantastic.
Fear shot through her body. My cousin pushed the pedal to the floor, not daring to look back in her rearview mirror. She reached her house and barely pulled herself into the door, weak from fear. My aunt came to her, and my cousin began to sob. No.
No. Okay, so I still picture this stuff.
Okay.
I still picture this thing happening with the whole dog running, and all of a sudden it turns its face and just that's some scary shit.
Yeah. I would not be able to handle that, but I don't like it. All right. We are in the home stretch.
Go to the bathroom, get a drink of water.
Yeah, do whatever you need to do.
Hey, do we have a sponsor break? Might be a good time to do one.
Oh yeah, let's take a break. And we're back. All right, so we are going to cap this whole shit show extravaganza that we've created for you. You're welcome.
You're so very welcome.
With our top 11 favorite horror movies.
Okay, and let me just say, this was not easy.
It wasn't. We got into a fist fight.
My nose is still bleeding.
Yeah, I have a black eye.
I'm missing 3 teeth.
Yeah, you'll hear from my lawyer.
Yeah, I heard he told you mine's contacting you, buddy. All right, I got a good one too. Anyway, this was hard. I'm a horror fanatic.
You are.
Okay, I'm no joking at you. I watch a horror movie almost every single night.
Yeah.
And so breaking it down and having it like just a few, breaking it down to 11, because what we did is I made my 11, he made his 11, and then we compromised on just a list of 11.
And then we scissored the shit out of it.
We planted the seed, we watered the seed, and then we fucked the plant. All right, let's get into this. And once again, no particular order.
Right. All right, so my number one, my favorite all time is Poltergeist.
After I just said no particular order.
I know, but this is still my favorite one. It's still my favorite one, so fuck you. Poltergeist, dude. That movie, because I saw it when I was 3, it fucking scared the shit out of me.
God, you were 3 when
I was
you saw
3.
It? Who does that to their child?
My parents.
Dude, high five, mom.
Yeah.
Now you're wondering what happened to your kid. That's what
Now
happened.
you know why I'm so fucked up. And why I'm into weird ass shit.
Well, I mean, I was probably just a few years older than that when I saw it. And that movie, it scared me more than I had been scared before in previous movies that I'd seen. And the reason was there's 3 things, really. Okay, 1, that fucking clown.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, as an adult, I watched it and I was like, that's weird. But as a kid, that shit scared me bad. And the thing that really got me, though, was the tree.
Yeah.
The tree that eats the kid, because I had this giant ash oak outside of my window. And it was an old oak, so it was gnarly and burly. And I was just waiting for it to eat me.
You know what the scariest part for me was?
What?
The fucking medium. She was so spooky to me.
No. Well, yeah.
She scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah, she was weird.
She was creepy as fuck.
Her name was Zelda or something,
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah. But my favorite scene, because I recently watched this again, my favorite scene was when the dad runs outside and he yells at his boss, "You move the tombstones, but not the graves, you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!"
You know, in that pool scene, they actually used real skeletons because they were cheaper than to buy fake skeletons.
That was creepy as fuck too,
so
dude.
they actually used real skeletons in that scene.
It's, you know what, that movie, it's aged pretty well. I will say that.
I think so. What's the guy, Coach? What's his name?
Oh, Craig T. Nelson.
Craig T. Nelson, thank you. He played a good job as the dad. I liked. I don't know when the last time you saw it was, but
a couple months ago.
When they've like been missing Carol Ann for a while, and they the parents are stressed and all this poltergeist activities happening all around the house, and they become super nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
Just like whatever, that's happening, and it shows Craig T. Nelson's face and his bags under his eyes. The way they painted him in just look ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, next one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, okay, this one is famous, and it's modeled after a famous serial killer of mine. Is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The original, not those.
Right.
That movie's been remade so many times, and a couple of those were like, okay, but nothing can beat the original.
Absolutely.
What are we movie?
You're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's right. But the Texas Chainsaw wasn't super gory, but there was a weird realism to it that was very unnerving.
Absolutely. Okay, next. My next one is The Ritual, which I recently watched. My friend Ujala recommended this movie to me, and she was like, "Holy shit, this movie's so fucking scary," right?
Was it a foreign movie? Is it a foreign movie? Was it?
I think it is a foreign movie.
I've seriously tried to watch that movie like 4 times, and as soon as it gets to like the first scary scene in the woods, I fall asleep for some reason.
Well, she told me, "You have to watch this movie. It's fucking scary." I was like, probably not. Just because I'm like you, I watch a lot of horror movies, and it takes a lot to scare me.
Desensitized.
Yeah, but dude, I was fucking literally freaking out a little bit because it is a slow burn movie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It takes a good 40 minutes before it gets real fucking creepy. Which is why I've fallen
asleep every single time.
But you do need the backstory to get why everything is the way it is. It ends amazingly. It's the fucking weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. If I watched it again, it probably wouldn't scare me as much, but the first time I was like, fucking holy shit.
And that's like 2018 or something.
It's recent.
Yeah, it's fairly recent.
Yeah, so that's a good one. I recommend it.
The next one I want to talk about is one of my personal favorites, and he only made one that I really enjoyed, but it's Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh.
I thought it was great. It had Sig in it as Captain Spaulding, and
it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that was pretty much the only movie that I could stand Rob Zombie's wife in. The rest of them, I was like, I can't stand this actress. But it was a super scary movie.
Absolutely.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
No?
But I will.
You need to go watch it. Seriously,
Okay.
It's a good one.
I don't really like clowns. Clowns freak me out.
That's the least of your worries in this.
Okay.
There's some good shit in it.
All right, okay.
Dr. Satan.
Okay. Let's talk about Final Destination.
Okay, yeah.
So this movie, I wouldn't really classify it as super scary because it really isn't that scary. It's more like a suspense movie to me. But it did fucking stick with me.
It was scary.
It stuck with me in the sense that, like, getting on a plane, I always think about that first scene when when the plane blows up.
Yeah, right.
And she has that
when it takes off.
Right. Or even like from Final Destination 2, if I see a truck with giant logs on it, I'm convinced I'm going to die.
Yeah, I think that's the one that really stuck with everybody was the whole log truck scene. The one that got me was the shower scene where he just slipped and all of a sudden he choked himself.
It wrapped around his neck. Oh, yeah.
That was it.
It's a good movie. They get progressively worse the more sequels they do.
You can only carry that one
for so long. Far, yeah. But 1 and 2 I think are worth watching.
Although, they took a Sharknado to like 5, so.
But Sharknado was already fucking ridiculous as it was.
That's what made it fun.
Right.
But that's not a part of our list.
No.
Okay.
So shut the fuck up.
Yeah. How'd you even bring that up?
Dick. Next.
Classic. Night of the Living Dead.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The original.
Yeah.
George
Romero. Yeah.
Yeah, the original George Romero. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Barbara.
They're coming to get you. There's even like a band named that, I think. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I love it.
Yeah. But I had never seen a black and white movie done so graphically before.
Yeah.
With like the special effects and stuff they had in it. And when I saw it originally, I had never really seen a zombie movie before. And so that really set a precedent for me. And what to expect with zombie movies to come in the future. And
Absolutely.
then, there's a few movies that changed it up, like 28 Days Later, where all of a sudden the zombies were super fast.
Yeah. I like that movie.
That was a great movie. Didn't make the list.
No. Not good enough. Cillian Murphy.
It was pretty good.
It was good.
It was pretty good.
It was good. Well, and we, like I said, we thought about this list a little bit. So
yeah, it's hard. It's so hard. There's some really good horror movies out there.
Yeah. How about Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh, dude. Yeah. Freddy, especially the first.
Freddy's coming for you.
The first the first Nightmare on Elm Street was so scary.
So scary.
And then they kind of got a little clowny.
Yeah.
A little more silly. You know what I mean?
Campy.
He became a lot more brandable.
Yeah.
He was, and but the first one, and the story, like the original story behind it, people dying from their nightmares. That's scary. I remember like being scared to take a shower and close my eyes because I was so scared to see Freddy's stupid ass right there.
And Robert Englund is just like fucking terrifying in that character. He's perfect
for it.
He's very good at it. Awesome. What's your next one?
Speaking of like perfect people for roles, Silence of the Lambs. Anthony Hopkins.
Holy shit, dude. He's so good at that.
And the other guy that played Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you vote me?
That's such a good movie, and it's so it's right up my alley because I love true crime. So anything with serial killers.
And once again, that was based on a
real killer.
Yeah, real killer.
Yeah.
Our man Geen.
Ugh. Put the fucking lotion in the basket. What's my next one?
Go Exorcist.
Yeah, let's do Exorcist. Okay. So Exorcist is definitely fucking up there. The first time I watched it scared the shit out of me. It's really well done. I think it's aged pretty well.
Oh, it's aged wonderfully well. I was trying to remember the demon's name. Captain Spaulding. Wasn't it Captain Spaulding? And that's funny because Captain Spaulding was also in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Right.
Or the same
shit.
name. You know what I mean? And I just kind of put that two together.
Interesting.
Just now. Anyway, Exorcist, something so memorable about that movie is that opening part where, not the opening part, but the scene where the priest is standing at the foot of the stairs and the music's playing and the light shining down on him. And you know that it's just bad things to come.
Oh, for sure. The actress in that movie, Linda Blair is fucking perfect. Yeah, horrifying, scary, terrifying movie.
Next up.
So you're gonna do the last two because these are yours. I'll agree with you on one. I don't agree with you on the other.
Okay, and let me explain this one. Okay, Jaws. Okay, Jaws completely changed the way I looked at the ocean. And I mean, man, that when I watched that, I was so scared to even go to the pool. I remember being scared to go to the pool because I was like, there's creatures out there that are bigger than me that want to eat me. And I was like, oh, there's an octopus in that drain. All right. So it's hard to say that this is not my favorite because honestly, it is. Evil Dead. Yeah. Evil Dead 1 and 2. And I said 1 and 2 because they're such different movies, but yet they're the same. It's kind of like they did 2. They basically just kind of redid the first story, but they did it a little bit different to set it up for number 3, which was Army of Darkness, which I don't know if you saw number 3 or not, but it's really campy. It's super campy. It's way less scare. And
that's always fun.
He gets taken to a medieval time with
so it's Bill and Ted,
but he still has his chainsaw and his boomstick, and so anyway, but 1 and 2 I had never seen. And Sam Raimi,
he's good.
Oh my god, dude, the shots, those really long shots of being like going through the woods super fast, like towards the character or towards the cabin, that's just classic stuff now. It's a terrifying tale.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching those. So I'm ashamed to say that I hadn't seen them until this year because I don't know why, for some reason. But anyway, Alex had me watch them. Definitely enjoyed them. I definitely love the remake though, dude. Like the remake,
the new one
is so fucking scary.
I had a lot of people say that the remake, or it's not really a remake though, it's more like a reboot. There was a lot of hints to the old movies there. There was the car was there and a few other things that were happening. But man, the new one was like nonstop white knuckle watching.
It was scary.
Yeah, it really was. There was some really scary, messed up moments with a girl in the bathroom with the broken mirror when shit really starts going bad, and she's just in the bathroom like cutting her face off. Are you kidding me? it just absolutely
the gore
scary.
Alone is just like fucking mind-blowing.
The gore factor is mega high, but I mean, it's an awesome story of just bringing the dead to life. It's that old classic story of man loses woman to demon
possession,
cuts up woman, buries woman comes back, has to kill her again. Right. Oh my god. But I mean,
it's a tale as old as time,
and it really is. It's corny, it's silly, but it's a really, and Ash, Bruce Campbell's character, and the way he plays him, and is so bad and yet just so amazing.
Agree.
So that wraps up the show.
That's it.
That's 31.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a couple of things before we sign off?
Yeah. So, as always, we appreciate you for listening to us, and we appreciate your support, and we know you guys want more. We're going to give you more soon. We're going to have more episodes coming out. I just need to get through True Consequences. Once we do that, we'll have some episodes for you. Should be a good time. But we also are going to ask for your support in whatever way you can support us. So if you can support us by sharing our show, by telling your friends, that's amazing. That goes a long way. If you can support us by giving us a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast player, that also is amazing. If you can support us financially, we appreciate that as well. We have a Patreon. We give you early access. We give you bonus content, special episodes, merchandise. You get a letter signed by both of us, or a card or something in the mail. And that's a monthly situation. So if you want to give monthly to us, that's helpful. I think we have rates as low as $2.
Yeah.
Maybe $1 a month.
Even like $1.
Yeah. But all of that goes a long way. But we also have another way now. It's ko.fi/Spookqueños. I've been saying that for all my episodes I've been recording.
Sure.
So it's like in my head. If you go there, you can just give us a one-time gift of however much you want. We want to get Alex a new microphone because he needs it and he moves around a lot. And the mic that we got him doesn't work well for that. So we're going to try to get him one like I have that will make it a little bit easier on him so he can move around and gesture with his hands aggressively. That's it. That's all we're going to say tonight. We miss you guys. We hope you're doing well.
Miss you.
Stay healthy. Stay
happy.
And stay
spooky.
Peace.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.